So Data Explorer is a new app as part of the Gluware control platform. It brings the ability to surface data from any of the underlying applications in the Gluware databases up to use to provide data insights and really just whatever meaningful data you want to generate out and use outside of Gluware. So it's made up of two primary components. There's the template editor, which enables you to access the various fields and build them into the report. Very flexible to create your own custom reports. You can also deem reports as the new default reports accessed in the applications like Device Manager, Config Drift and Audit, OS Manager. You also, the second main piece of it is the real-time report viewer. So as you generate your template, you're able to select devices and run the report, and then actually look at that data and decide if it is manipulated and designed the way you want it to in the real-time viewer. Then you can integrate it into the product further by either setting it to generating it on demand and using those results, or scheduling those results and having them email out to you periodically in CSV or PDF or JSON format. Let's just jump through a couple use cases here. One of the most common and popular is that Gluware, through device discovery, is interrogating the hardware. For Cisco, we actually go down to line cards and modules and pull serial numbers and can capture a very, very detailed hardware inventory. And that can all be generated out in a report. So very, very useful. And this is a porting of where this data export was only available before in the utility data export, which had a fixed report. Now, that whole functionality is available in Data Explorer, and you have full capability to customize the report that you want to extract out relating to the hardware inventory. In use case number 2, this is a new one that's enabled by the advanced discovery, which is looking at port statuses of if it's up or down, if it's like again up and in use, or an admin down, potentially not in use, and be able to generate a usage report. So very useful for capacity planning and understanding the availability you have to expand in campus switches or data centers or things like that. In use case number 3, this is about looking at resource assignments like IP addressing and VLAN assignments, and being able to generate out a report of the IP addresses used in your environment or the VLAN IDs used. And you can execute this out into databases and in sync or correlate with things like IPAMs or other ways in which you're managing resources like addressing. One of my favorite use cases is the combo report. So this is where you kind of had separated data depending on what app you're in. But ultimately, when you're operating a network and you're looking at the full lifecycle management, you want to understand information about the platform. In a daily report, and through a scheduled report, I may want to understand if drift occurred and if an audit passed or failed. Also, if any operating system upgrades were executing, did they pass or fail? So I may want a daily activity kind of log of what happened, and a combo report can be very useful for this. You can also include information about provisioning, which is config modeling, where you're implementing changes and what changes got implemented down to the network and if there were any issues or failures with that. In use case number 5, this is another example that's ported over from data export, where we have the ability to export out Cisco licenses that are enabled and used on platforms. And now this functionality is exposed and available in Data Explorer as well. So looking at, again, the Cisco licenses in your equipment.